Hello and welcome to another video. Obviously, my name is Benny's World 93, aka Ben. Obviously, in the previous video, I was been talking about the original Crash trilogy, which is Crash 1, Crash 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and Crash 3 Warped. This video I'll be talking about Spyro, the original trilogy, which is the PlayStation 1 era. Also, it'll be talking about the remastered versions as well. So obviously, let's crack on with it. Obviously, if you guys do want to check out my Crash Bandicoot talk, obviously it'll be in the previous video. Obviously, it'll be down below or it'll be around here. Also, before I forget, thank you guys so much for 150 subscribers. I forgot to say that. Currently at 151. So obviously, thank you guys so much. But yeah, I'll crack on with this video. Hopefully, it'll be a lot shorter than the Crash Bandicoot one. But yeah, so this today's topic would be about Spyro, Spyro the Dragon 1, Spyro the Dragon 2, Ripto's Rage slash Gateway to Glimmer, and Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. Obviously, Spyro 1 was released in 1998, like I was saying in a previous video. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage slash Gateway to Glimmer. I think the UK version was Gateway to Glimmer, and I think the Europe version was Ripto's Rage. I've been told they're exactly the same. There's not that much difference. That was Spyro 2 was released in 1999, and obviously then Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon was released in 2000. So obviously I believe that was one of the years of the dragon. I believe. Yeah, so Spyro 1, you have the storyline of Spyro 1, all the dragons all happily obviously chatting. You got an interviewer sort of interviewing some of the dragons, sort of like saying, "Oh, how was it?" And obviously one of the dragons, the older dragons, sort of saying, "Oh, it's been peaceful here." He says something about I think it's 12,000 treasure, and he's sort of confusing himself. Is it 14,000? So obviously later on in the game, people do realize it's 14,000 treasure. There's 80 dragons and there's 12 dragon eggs to get to complete the game. But yeah, so what happens is they're in an interview. They they talk smack about Nasty Nork. Obviously, then Nasty Nork gets upset, and then he freezes them in this like green crystal form, which obviously freezes them. And then obviously the only one that's left is obviously little purple boy Spyro. So obviously his job is to obviously free the dragons and collect all the treasure and get all the eggs and defeat Nasty Nork. So what you do is obviously each level has a boss or mini boss as I call them. So the first world is you got Toasty, which is turns out to be a sheep, which is like a guy in like a pumpkin outfit sort of thing with his like scepter sort of thing, and obviously he turns out to be a sheep. Second boss is Doctor Doctor Sh- Doctor Shep, which is like a big guy with got two metal guards on his body, front and back. So obviously he's flame resistant. So you gotta each time he jumps around, you gotta flame his bottom, and obviously then he goes off. Third boss is Blowhard, which is like a whirlwind guy. He's got like a crow beak, and obviously you go up and down. Again, you have to flame him. All the bosses you have to flame. Obviously, boss number four is probably one of the hardest out of them all, which is the robot, which is on not Blowhard. I forgot what the level's called, but I know the levels. I know it's on the fourth world. And then obviously you got the fifth boss, which is like a Jack in the Box sort of character. I think the level's called Jacqueline, I think. And then obviously the final boss is obviously in Nasty's world, which is obviously Nasty North. Uh, so the whole object of Spyro 1 is obviously, like I said, collect all the treasure, collect the gems, free the 80 dragons, collect 14,000 treasure altogether, and I believe you get 120% game complete once everything's collected. You got you got five speedways in the whole game, which are those are the like super like the a level where you have to collect four items, but at eight of each item. So obviously, as it goes, obviously the speedways are a big thing in the Spyro series. But yeah, then obviously once you get everything, you defeat Nasty Nork, and then if you've collected everything, because there's a lot of people will say, but Ben, there's a fourth level in Nasty's world. What is that? Well, that's Nasty's lots. That's the bonus world. That's the bonus level, which has got 2,000 gems, which then will get your total from 12,000 to 14,000 treasure. And then obviously once you've done that, you officially complete the game 120%. But in order to open that, you need to collect everything in the worlds first. Obviously, the dragon will tell you you have to complete everything 100%, which means you have to collect the 80 dragons, and you have to get 12,000 treasure and 12 dragon eggs. And then once you've done that and you've beaten that level, you then, I believe, Spyro's got sunglasses on, I think, and obviously then you got another interview. Obviously, then Spyro says the sky's the limit, and then you go on to Spyro 2. Spyro 2 is Gateway to Glimmer, aka Ripto's Rage, which, like I've said earlier, I don't really see much difference. I played both of them. Obviously, I did have Gateway to Glimmer, but obviously, what it is. The story is pretty much Spyro's running around looking for the beach. Obviously, he goes into a portal, which then sucks him up into Avalar, which is obviously a new world where we find new characters. We get introduced to the Professor, to Laura, and to Elora, and to Hunter. Hunter's like a cheater, Laura's like a fawn, and obviously Professor's like a little short, smart guy. Obviously, three new bad guys as well. You got Crash, which is the blue, like Ripto, like the Crash is like a blue Rhinoc, which ain't very smart. And then you got Gulp, which is like a little bit smarter than Crash. And then obviously you got the mastermind behind it all, which is obviously Ripto, which is the bad guy. Also, you do get introduced to Moneybags, which is a bear who just like screwing Spyro over. Um, yeah, so the whole story is obviously Spyro gets dragged into the Everlar to try to sort out the Laura's and the people's problems. Obviously then also you have to fight the bad guys, obviously beat the bad guys, and then eventually you get into like a sunny beach area which is called Dragon Shores, which is then obviously if you collect everything in the game and complete 100%, you get the super permanent fire breath, which helps out a lot. Also in Spyro 2, you do have collectibles which are like the orbs. The gems come back as well, so obviously it's just two items to collect, which is the orbs. Oh yeah, and the talismans. I forgot about the talismans. Talismans has 14 altogether, but they stop at the end of the second world. Then you got 64 orbs and 10,000 treasure to find. So obviously once you've done all that and you defeat the bosses and you get 100%, also then that's what, like I said, you get the super permanent fire breath. The first boss is obviously Crush, which is in Summer Forest. Second boss is Gulp, which is in Autumn Plains. And obviously Ripto. In order to get to Ripto, you have to have 40 orbs, because then it opens up the door into Tundra. In order to get Crush, in order to open up the Crush battle, you have to get six talismans. And in order to get Gulp, you have to get 14 talismans. So once you get every talisman, you unlock Gulp. Gulp out of the three, Gulp's probably the hardest boss because he does get annoying. But obviously, Crush is easy. Ripto's alright. You can do Ripto in a few tries. But obviously, when I was little, obviously the most times that I died in a boss battle was Gulp because it would just be annoying. And obviously, the vultures, which they try to help you defeat Gulp, they don't help out themselves either. But yeah, so obviously the first boss, Crash, second boss, Gulp, third boss, Ripto. Once you've got everything, defeated Ripto, completed all the speedways as well, because there's four speedways. Once you've done all that, and in order to open up the front door for um, Dragon Shores, you have to get, I think it's 55 orbs and 8,500 treasure. But if you've already collected all that and you've got everything, you can open it up straight away. And as soon as you go into the door, you take a right, and then obviously the special doors there. And obviously there is a bonus. You have to collect 10 tokens in Dragon Shores, and you can unlock the theatre. And then after that, after we beat Spyro 2, we'll be going on to Spyro 3. And obviously Spyro 3, the storyline of Spyro 3 is simple. It's you're sleeping, you get all the dragon eggs stolen, obviously the baby dragon eggs, and obviously they get stolen by a woman called Bianca, which is like an evil sorcerer, but she wants to be an evil sorcerer. And obviously you get all the Rhinox come into the game. Obviously you also get a blue woman, which is called the Sorceress. She's the main bad guy. And then obviously Moneybags makes a return, Hunter makes a return, the Dragons make a return. Uh, Laura makes a return a few times, and the Professor. And obviously you do have four new characters, which is Sheila the Kangaroo, Sergeant Bird, Bentley the Yeti, and Agent 9 the Space Monkey. Again, you can play as them, and also you can play as Sparks, which I totally forgot to say. Sparks has been on all three. He's like your health. So obviously on the third one you can play as Sparks. So theoretically speaking, you can play as six people or six characters. In order to lock the other four, to unlock Sheila, the kangaroo, you got to have collect 300 gems to give to Moneybags. To unlock Sergeant Bird, you have to get 700 to Moneybags. To unlock Bentley, it's 1,000, and to unlock Agent 9, I believe it's 1,300. I believe. So obviously then, in order to unlock the Sparks levels, you have to defeat the bosses on that level, then come back, and then Zoe will give you. Oh, I forgot to say about Zoe. Zoe's in Spyro 2 as well. She's a fairy which saves your progress for you. But yeah, she's in Spyro 2 and Spyro 3. I forgot about Zoe. But yeah, so yeah, so once you defeat the boss in the first world, then you go back, and obviously you complete the Sparks level. Each time you beat the Sparks level, you get a new ability. So I did find that pretty cool, even though it is a bit degrading because on the original trilogy, on the Reignited trilogy, they've actually unlocked straight away. Obviously, the warp to level, even though it does make life a lot easier, but on the original, you had to unlock that ability. You can just say right square, off you go, or B or whatever. But yeah, Spyro 3 storylines obviously collect the orb, collect the eggs. There's 100 eggs to get to the sorceress. 150 dragon eggs in total, and I believe there's 20. Yeah, there's 20,000 gems altogether in Spyro 3. In order to lock the super bonus world, once you've defeated everyone and completed everything, you will have 149 dragon eggs and you'll have 15,000 treasure, and then you can go to the super bonus world, which is like a bonus level, which has got a massive 5,000 gems and one dragon egg, and obviously that's when you face the sorceress again for round two. And this time, the sorceress battle, instead of it being on foot like it was on the first time, you're actually on flying saucer, and she takes, I think it's 20 hits to defeat her. But obviously, I'll have to do I might do a few gameplays of Crash and Spyro of the boss battles. Wait and see on that, and obviously, But yeah, like I said, all in all, the Spyro 3 was the best one out of the three of them, in my personal opinion. If I had to choose between Spyro 3 versus Crash 3, it'd probably be a draw in my head. Because even though I prefer Spyro over Crash, but it's Spyro Crash has given me more memories, and Crash has given me more memories than Spyro. But again, we'll just wait and see. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening to me rambling on. Obviously, leave your opinions in the comments down below, what you guys think and all sorts of stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Benny's World 93, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Benny's World 93. Also, so until next time, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Right, goodbye.